What is up, you guys? Today, as you can see behind me, we got a John Deere tractor, and we're going to talk about why we use a tractor on our farm instead of a BCS. All right, so let's take a look at this John Deere tractor. So it is a 3038E, and it's considered a compact tractor. It has a front loader. It doesn't have a air conditioned cab or anything. I think you can get that. And on the back, it does have the 3-point hitch, and we got Pat's Easy Change on the back. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. All right, so let's talk about the reasons why you should get a tractor over a BCS. And the first reason for me is it's not that hard on your body. A BCS is it's heavy and it's big. And if you're going to be doing a lot of rows, a lot of tilling, a lot of power harrowing, even moving compost, it takes a toll on your body. And as farmers, we want to be able to farm, as long as possible. And if our body deteriorates, we're not going to be able to farm. Simple as that. With the tractor, we opted to get one with a loader on the front. And the reason why we got the loader is we can move compost real easy. We don't have to use wheelbarrows. We don't have to use buckets. And we can really, again, move compost pretty easily. And the nice thing about having a front loader on the tractor is you can also put other stuff. You can easily undo that. And we have a set of pallet forks, for example. So when we're moving pallets, or if we get a Farmer's Friend high tunnel, and as you can see, we got 3 Farmer's Friend high tunnels, and they all came on pallets, and we could easily move it with the tractor. Another example, we recently got in some greenhouse kind of, storage or greenhouse tables, and they came on a pallet. So how did we move it? We moved it with the tractor. And the second reason why we got a tractor is it's just made our farming experience just so much easier. We talked about, how it's not hard on your body. It can take different implements in the front. It can move compost a lot easier. You can put pallet forks on it and move stuff. But one of the other things is it fits in our hoop houses. So this bar right here, it can fold down, all right, and it can effectively get into any hoop house. And it makes it a lot easier for us to till the hoop houses. If they get full of weeds, it makes it easier to make beds in the hoop houses, to bring compost in with the front loader. It just makes it a whole lot easier. So those are some main benefits of having the tractor. But how exactly do we use this tractor on our market farm? We utilize the 30-inch bed system for one thing, and it's an all organic farm. We don't spray anything that is not organic. We do have to spray sometimes, but it's all organic stuff. But how do we use this tractor on the market garden farm? Let's talk about that. So the first way we use it is for compost. We use this tractor to spread compost. It has a front end loader, and we just go scoop it up, and we can either just throw it right on the row, or we can shovel it out and get it exactly on that 30-inch row. Now, they do make implements, such as the one here, that you can put wood chips in, and it'll just put it on the outside of the rows, or you can put compost in it, and it'll just put it right in the middle of the row. That'd be a great implement, but we just haven't needed it yet. We don't have that many rows, and we don't put wood chips down in the walkways. All right, now I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite things we've done for the tractor on the market garden, and that is Pat's Easy Hitch. And with this, it makes it super easy to hook up your implements. You literally just lift it up, lock it, and then the implement can go right on it. It makes it a lot easier. I know a lot of people say it takes them 15, 20 minutes to hook up an implement, but with Pat's Easy Change, it's only taking us, I'd say, a few minutes, nothing major. And another thing we've done with the tractor is we have it spaced exactly for 30-inch beds. You can see up here we have Boro wheel spacers. So if you were to measure the distance between the wheels, you'd get about 32 inches. And the wheels itself are 18 inches. So it fits perfectly on our paths and walkways. So that's kind of how we have it set up for the market garden. Now let me show you guys some of the implements that we use on a daily basis for the market garden. All right, so behind me are some of the implements that we use. And some of them look rusted and old as crap, but that's okay because they work. So let me show you guys some of the implements. So the first implement that we use on the tractor is a pair of pallet forks. Now we didn't get the John Deere pallet forks. These pallet forks came, gosh, I can't even remember, but they were cheap. I think they're Titan attachment pallet forks, and they've worked great for us. I think we spent $600 and it was free shipping. It wasn't freight shipping or anything. It just came on a FedEx truck. So that's one of the first attachments that we use. The second one, and this is probably one of the most versatile attachments that we have, is the Tillmore 2-inch bar. So as you can see, it has not one bar, but 2 bars. And you can put anything on this, from sweeps to shanks to really anything. It's a modern toolbar for a small tractor. We have this set up now with just some sweeps. We were using it on the asparagus field just to kind of clean up some of the weeds. But again, you could put discs on it. You could put so many things on it. It is one of the main things that we use. Next up is the tiller. So I know some of you guys, you're going to say, we don't till, we only tilth it or use a power harrow, and that's great, but we till on our farm. We're in North Carolina. We get a ton of weeds during the summer, and we farm a large area, and it's hard to keep up with all the weeds. So this is a 6-foot tiller. I think we got this at Tractor Supply, and it's worked great for us. And kind of the general rule of thumb for what size tiller to get, if you are in the market for one, is for every 5 horsepower, you can get about a foot of tiller. And I know Tractor Time with Tim has a ton of videos exploring tillers on smaller tractors than ours. Our tractor is a 38 horsepower tractor, and it handles this tiller no problem. So one of the next attachments is the bush hog. Now this is Grandpa's old bush hog. It is rusted out, but it still works. A lot of times when we're cleaning up old rows, we go in and we just bush hog it before we pull up the landscape fabric or do whatever. And this bush hog works great. All right, and let's talk about one of my favorite implements. We don't use it a whole lot, but when we do, it makes the perfect seed bed. This is an Ibex Power Harrow. It's made in Italy. And it is just like the Power Harrow for the BCS, but it's for a tractor. And you know what the nice part is? It's a lot easier on your body. It is 35 inches. They don't make a 30-inch model, but the 35 works great, and it creates a perfect seed bed every time. And our beds are raised, so 35 inches, it gives a little bit of cushion on each side, and it's worked great. One of the last implements that we use here, this is a mulcher. We don't use it though for laying down plastic mulch. We use it for a bed shaper. We've done plastic mulch in the past, and it's always just been a pain in the butt to get it up. We've tried all kinds of stuff, but just the weeds here just make it just so hard to get up. So actually, it creates a 30-inch raised bed. So a lot of times in the field, we'll till it, and then we'll drag this behind it, and it creates a 30-inch raised bed. No more shoveling out the pathways or anything like that. So let's talk about how we actually use these implements now that you've seen them. The first thing we would do is we would probably till the soil, okay? After we till the soil, we would use the bed shaper. All right, we got our 30-inch raised beds. We then go in and we plant on the beds. We may use the jig to plant, we may transplant stuff by hand, whatever. After that bed has been harvested, cropped out, whatever you want to call it, we'd probably bring in the bush hog and bush hog the bed if we need to get rid of any debris. All right. Then after that, we could use the power harrow, really make some nice soil, and ready to plant again. If we're going to tarp it, we'd tarp it. If we need to put mulch on it, we'd use the tractor with the bucket to put mulch on it. So that's kind of a high level view of how we would use the stuff for the tractor. Let's talk about some of the reasons why people don't get tractors or they never really take that jump. One of the main things is they think they're too expensive. Now, we paid about $30,000 for that John Deere 3038E, and it's been great. It had 0% financing, so we chose that option, and it comes out to about $500 a month. Okay, but here's the main kicker. When it's time one day, if we ever decide to sell that tractor, we could easily get what we paid for it. You see, tractors hold their value remarkably well, especially John Deere's and Kubota's. So it is a lot of money, but one thing you got to think about is the time savings. You're not breaking your back, and just it pays for itself. That's one of the biggest complaints I've heard about people not getting a tractor. The second reason is because they say, I don't want to compact my soil. And I understand that. The tractor is very heavy. But you see, we don't drive it over the beds. The wheels are perfectly spaced, so it just drives between the beds. So we're really never driving on it. I would argue that you're putting more weight on your bed with your BCS. So overall, I highly recommend that you guys get a tractor for your market garden. You might already have a tractor, and that's awesome. And you know, the reasons, again, it just saves so much time, saves your back. And once you have one, it's really hard to go back without having one. And one last little kicker. Everybody knows Elliot Coleman, the OG market gardener. And I want you guys to know that he uses a tractor. Absolutely. I'm going to put some images up, maybe a video that shows him on a tractor harvesting potatoes and doing other stuff. So if he has a tractor, maybe you guys should get a tractor. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.